Bristol Bears 19-17 Sale Sharks. 5 key takeaways from a Premiership thriller. The top line, Kalaveti Ravouvou, struck 8 minutes from time to break Sale Sharks' hearts, clinch a gripping 19-17 victory, and send Bristol Bears to the top of the Gallagher Premiership that on a freezing Friday night at Ashton Gate. Sale controlled much of a ferociously physical contest before Raffi Quirke was sin-binned with 15 minutes remaining. That setback, compounded by a right knee injury to the hugely influential Raffi Quirke, proved decisive. The momentum swung sharply in Bristol's favor, and Ravouvou made it count in dramatic fashion, finishing clinically to seal the win. It was the 6th consecutive league match in which the informed Fijian has crossed the whitewash, while the result marked Bristol's 4th straight Premiership victory, inspired once again by the relentless Ellis Genge. Genge completes player of the match hat-trick. Ellis Genge continued his outstanding season by collecting his 3rd successive player of the match award in a Bristol shirt. The England loosehead was immense throughout, engaging in a fierce, uncompromising duel with international teammate Tom Curry. Sale's tireless back rower is not known for taking a backward step, and the pair went hammer and tong for the full 80 minutes in one of the game's defining battles. Genge had made his intentions clear before kickoff, having urged his side to avenge last season's humiliating 38-0 home defeat to the Sharks. "We spoke about that before the game, and I said to the boys, it can't happen again," Genge said afterwards. "I'm a bit overwhelmed by the physicality and the emotion. The boys were fantastic. Honestly, all of them could have got this medal. I said to them, it should be an inherent trait of this club that we can knock it about and mix it with the big lumps. It's got to be part of our DNA." Triumph over adversity. Bristol's position at the top of the table would have seemed improbable during the early weeks of the season, when injuries piled up at such a rate that simply fielding competitive matchday squads became a challenge. Yet here they are in the opening week of a new year, sitting top after a 6th successive win in all competitions and a 4th straight league victory. "The group's had a lot of adversity," said Tom Jordan, who impressed at fly half in place of AJ McGinney. Sidelined earlier in the season with a ruptured Achilles, few would have predicted Bristol ending 2025 with an unbeaten home record, and fewer still would have backed them to overturn a 10-point deficit after tries from Tom O'Flaherty and Sale captain Ernst van Rooyen put the visitors 17-7 ahead. But Pat Lam's side are rich in character. Quirke's knee injury may have helped create the space for Matthias Moroni's try on 55 minutes, which hauled Bristol back into contention, but the hosts still had to find a way to win. They may also have ridden their luck early on, with Bill Mata fortunate not to see a card for a heavy second-minute tackle. From there, however, Bristol earned everything, grinding down a fired-up Sale side, playing without Louis Rees-Zammit, who withdrew at halftime despite passing his HI. "Sale always play their best rugby against us," Lam said afterwards. This time, though, Bristol were ready for it. History repeating itself. Almost, I'd love history to repeat itself, Sale director of rugby Alex Sanderson admitted before kickoff, and for long periods, it looked as though he might get his wish. Last season, Sanderson instructed his side to cage the bear, inspiring a Sale team without an away point to produce a stunning 38-0 victory at Ashton Gate. Until Northampton's demolition of Bath last weekend, that performance stood alone as the Premiership's finest away display. Repeating such a feat against a Bristol side on a 5-match winning streak seemed unlikely, a view echoed by Sharks kicking coach Warren Sprague. "It was a freaky performance we had a year ago," he said. "You can't come here and repeat the same thing again." And yet, Sale came close. Driven by Curry, they smothered Bristol's attacking game, defending aggressively and disrupting relentlessly. They struck first through O'Flaherty after Mr. White shrugged off a heavy Jordan tackle to release the ball wide. Although Joe Owen replied on the stroke of halftime, Sale regained control after the break through Van Rooyen's try and a George Ford penalty. At that point, another famous away win beckoned. This time, however, Bristol had the final say, scoring the last 12 points to leave Sale 7th in the table. Now 14 points adrift to their host, Quirke bolsters England's 7-1 bench debate for 55 minutes. Raffi Quirke was outstanding. Named at scrum half, he was forced to switch to the wing within 2 minutes after Alex Wills was flattened by a huge Bill Mata hit. What might have been a significant blow instead became a blessing in disguise. Quirke was electric out wide, his pace and footwork repeatedly unsettling the Bristol defense. He linked play intelligently and looked entirely at home in the back three. England head coach Steve Borthwick is keen to explore the use of a 7-1 bench split, with just one specialist back covering multiple roles. Until Quirke limped off late on, his performance served as a compelling audition for that hybrid role. Much like Austin Healey in a previous era, Quirke is equally effective at halfback and in the backfield. The only lingering concern is fitness. Injuries have too often disrupted his progress since his England debut in 2021 that if he can stay fit, he is a player